Hello guys, Sophia Kiwi here with you today. Welcome to my channel and to today's video. We are going to talk about 8 signs you might have a stalker and what you should do about it. Before that, thank you so much for supporting my channel, for liking, subscribing, commenting, watching. I appreciate it so much. Let's dive into this topic right away. What is stalking? I'm sure most of us has heard about it, but maybe we don't really know what it means, how terrifying it actually can be. So stalking is a form of violent behavior that involves obsessive attention to another person, spying on them, threatening and harassing them. Victims experience not only discomfort, but in many cases also they experience fear. This is considered a distinctive feature of stalking. So how to know something could be described or falls into the category stalking if you are scared? It always looks frightening. The situation with a stalker will sooner or later feel and look frightening. And in some Western countries, such as UK, USA, stalking is considered a criminal offense and a very common one. We often see these scary documentaries, where people, it's so common to talk about, relatives, friends, they always talk about, he was a little violent. He had a history of being abusive, or she was a little controlling with Jack, but we didn't see that as something necessarily as a warning sign. Well, in fact, these were the warning signs that relatives or close friends noticed, but they didn't decide to act on it or actually say something. So stalking on the internet is also especially common today. Social networks have greatly simplified the life of a stalker. Through the internet, it's easy to figure out where you live, how you prefer to relax, and with whom you communicate, through the Facebook. Most profiles are, of course, private, but sometimes you can befriend someone new and you are not even you let your guard down. You don't even suspect that they are strange, but in fact this person could later turn into a stalker, but you have already opened up your online world to them. That's not impossible. But back to the internet topic. And through it, it's so easy to access any information about you. And of course, it's easier for a stalker to contact you through the internet than actually track you down in reality. So usually stalkers are men, but not always. Women are also capable of stalking. I really want to emphasize that. The series Baby Reindeer portrays the woman as a stalker. You can see it on Netflix. The storyline is basically based on real events. According to the plot, an aspiring comedian that works part-time as a bartender treats a visitor to a free drink one day. She perceives it as flirting, and then the events develop at an incredible speed. Over the next 4 years, this woman turns the life of this dear, as she calls him, into hell. She overwhelms him with endless messages, goes to his comedy performances, lurks around his home, and attacks his loved ones. So let me know, guys, actually in the comments down below, have you seen this series? What did you think about it? What did you think about the acting? What did you think about the plot? Let me know your opinion. Do you like it or do you not like it? I have seen it. I thought it was quite interesting. The acting was good, and of course it is terrifying also, because just in the beginning, the Richard Gadd, the person that actually created this series, he is playing the main character, and he wants to file a police report about being stalked, but the policeman meets him with indifference. He's like trying to get rid of him basically, and asking him, why did you not file the report earlier? because according to him, the messages he shows actually are not that threatening. But what if those are actually not the only messages? He got a lot of messages and the problem was much bigger, but this policeman actually didn't want to do anything or acted very indifferent to his problem. Maybe because he was a man, because you might be thinking, or the society might be portraying it as it's only men that could be stalkers. No, it could also be women, actually. In fact, we're going to talk about that. So how do you recognize a stalker? Sometimes we don't immediately realize that a person that shows clear interest in us is a stalker. Of course, it's usually more often we think that someone is interested in us. If we don't like them back, we might not really feel happy for the attention, but we don't automatically assume they are a stalker. Of course not. At first, the behavior looks innocent, but over time, it could become intimidating. You may think the person is very friendly and flirty in the beginning. They can wish you good morning every day, send you flowers, like all your photos online, and ask you to meet up. How is a stalker's behavior different from a typical admirer? Because in the beginning, it seems like it's the same thing, isn't it? First one, persistent calls and messages. It's okay to call your loved one or text someone you want to have a relationship with, but it's not normal for persistent calls and messages to continue, even though you've made it clear to someone that you don't intend to answer, or you clearly have turned them down. I would definitely say it's stalking if you are blocking this person, the same person, and they keep finding ways to reach out to you again and again. If you are afraid to pick up your phone when you see an unfamiliar number, or you have begun to avoid all your messengers, social media, you have definitely encountered psychological violence. 2, the second sign you might have a stalker is physical harassment. Of course, it's one thing to accidentally meet a neighbor in the local market or see the same person on the bus on your way home from work daily. It's something completely different if the encounters are so many that they could not be a coincidence. Imagine this. You notice the same person lurking around your house or in the neighborhood. When you spot them, they pretend to be on the phone, when in fact they were waiting for you to come out. Later the same day, you notice the same person at your workplace. If you work, for example, in a store, in a cafe, pharmacy, basically a place where all people are allowed in, yet you notice them at your workplace. After you finish work, you notice this person again at the mall, even though you rarely go there, or maybe like 3 times a year. Yet you bump into them again, and you definitely should be careful because something isn't right. If you keep bumping into the same person, basically it doesn't, this was maybe an extreme case when you bump into the same person just on the same day. But if you keep seeing somewhat a pattern, I would say you should be worried. Number 3, the sign number 3 that you might have a stalker is social media surveillance. What do I mean by this now? A person has liked all of your photos, even those that you did a million years ago when you started your page. Yeah, they have befriended your friends. That's creepy. Join groups you're a member of. They write 5 comments to your posts and, basically heart, 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 or love you, looking pretty, who's that girl, or who's that boy? Is that your boyfriend? Oh, you have a new shirt, looking good. Like, even if there are really old photos and the comments could be totally inappropriate. Or they repost insignificant messages like, I am awake, good morning, friends. Or on the other hand, which is also a little strange, but this could also happen, their comments could be intrusive and sarcastic. They take every opportunity to make fun of you, for example, for any reason, and literally hunt your messages in different groups and feeds. Such behavior should also alert you. So not only the sweet and positive, but also the negative and almost aggressive. The fourth sign you might have a stalker is spreading rumors or false information. This is really dirty, but this also happens sometimes. For example, a stalker told you or your partner that you were unfaithful, cheating on them. Your parents, that you could tell them that you committed a crime, got hooked on drugs, or took a huge loan. This doesn't necessarily mean that the stalker rings their doorbell and tells them in person. Could be in a letter, could be in some form of maybe electronical form of evidence that you have done this. You know, they could be faking it through a program, different documents. Anything is possible with stalkers. And your boss, friends, neighbors, each of them at some point may find out nasty things about you or something that will undermine your reputation. Spreading rumors, guys, that's also stalking. Especially spreading all kinds of false information that will make you look bad and cause you big problems. The fifth sign you might have a stalker is close attention to details of your private life. This is when you might discover that the person knows so much more about you than you would like to know. For example, they know where you go shopping, who your closest friends are, and they are even aware of what you eat for breakfast. If you haven't shared such details on social media or share them with your friends, this kind of information is a true sign of them spying on you. For example, you could get a text where it says, "Wow, I also love croissants for breakfast," or "I love that bakery on Wall Street," say. And you didn't post a picture of you visiting the bakery on the Wall Street, or you didn't post a picture of you eating a croissant that day, but still you got a text from someone anonymous, from an unknown number basically. Or this is really creepy, and it will make you feel uneasy. So you should definitely be careful if you notice that you haven't posted about something, but someone still knows where you were, what you ate, any details that you haven't posted or made public. The sixth sign you might have a stalker is taking photos of you without permission. And videos fall into this category as well, but photos are faster and easier way. A classic example is they send you photos or videos of you taken by them on a regular basis, and of course taken secretly without your permission, or they post these pictures online, social networks. If you have made it clear and told the person that you are not interested in them, you don't appreciate this, it's clearly stalking. The seventh sign is unsolicited and intrusive grand gestures. 100 red roses is such a gesture. Large-scale gifts put you in the position where you feel like you owe them something. This is also kind of goes into the abusive area. They are ready to do anything for you, but what about you? Heartless. Another example is you get food deliveries every day because someone, or the stalker, has decided that you have bad eating habits, or they wait for you outside your office to give you a ride home, or they buy you expensive gifts emphasizing their cost, or they endlessly compose poems or in your honor, or write you sweet notes constantly, or basically any repeated behavior, any unwanted repeated behavior. means you are being stalked, because usually you don't ask for these favors, you don't ask for these gifts, you don't have the kind of relationship where you would think it's sweet to receive a gift from them. That is stalking. The sign number 8, you might have a stalker, is communication through other people. Let's say you blocked a stalker on social media, blacklisted their email, and changed your number. But with stalking, the person will not give up trying to contact you and will send you messages, maybe threats and confessions from other numbers or fake accounts. They also might try to contact you or leave a message through your friends, relatives, or your colleagues. Most likely through your colleagues, because you will probably tell your friends and family about the stalker. So the colleagues are usually still kind of close to you, but not close enough to tell them all the details or tell them right away. All people are different, so you could still get more information through colleagues. So what do you do, my friend, if you are a victim of a stalking? So this is really scary, but depending on what country you live in, contacting the police might not be the most effective way of getting rid of a stalker. As we all know, not all countries see this as an offense, or they really have the only thing they could do, for example, is put a restraining order on it, and it will not really work the way you would like. So depending on where you live, still contact the police, of course, but also in addition to contacting the police, it's worth taking security into your own hands. First one, and too bad it's overlooked oftentimes, is trust your instinct. If the situation seems threatening to you, most likely it is. Even if your friends or family members don't think you should worry, trust yourself and remember those documentaries that we see on YouTube very often that tell, well, yeah, she was worried, or he seemed uneasy with her intention. And the victims of stalking were in fact actually starting to already get scared or feel uneasy, feel threatened, but their surroundings, their close people told them not to worry. Don't listen to that. If it feels threatening to you, trust yourself. And try to make yourself feel safe at home. Ask for help from friends or family, those who support you in this, that tell you, yeah, I agree. That person's behavior really is strange. We should be a little careful, should be on the outlook for something strange happening. And don't underestimate the scale of the danger, because we never know how someone else will react or what they are thinking about. The second thing you should do is take threats seriously. If someone threatens to kill you or hurt your family in any way, in some way, that you should know that they aren't joking or exaggerating. See it as it is. Don't automatically think, oh, they are just exaggerating, they are being mad. The danger is even higher if the threat comes at an emotionally difficult moment. For example, when you are trying to break up with them, end the relationship, and they spit it out and tell you, I will kill you, or I will come after you. You will regret this. You know, that's oftentimes how it's portrayed in movies. Unfortunately, there are people who are capable of this. So be extra careful and keep an eye on your safety. Number 3, to protect yourself, is set boundaries. Stop communicating, block the stalker on social media, and in no case give into persuasion to sort things out with them, to part in a nice way, even if they ask you, well, can we make a quick call? I want to talk to you, or like, try to invite you to reconcile, or, you know, in any way try to make amends. No. If you decide to talk to the stalker, it will only convince them that they are doing something right, and they will continue to put pressure on you by inventing new ways to do it. The fourth thing you could do is tell your loved ones about the situation. This can be your relatives, friends, colleagues, teachers. If possible, share photos of the stalker and their car, bike, motorcycle, if they have one. Ask your friends to check up on you regularly as well, so that you and them know that you are okay, that you are all right. And also, in extreme cases, or if we are preparing for the worst, basically, it's also better to call each other to make sure that it's you on the phone, depending on how far things have gone or might go. Have this rule with your friends. Okay, we will call every hour and check in with each other if something is going on. For example, if you're going into trial with this person, depending on your specific situation, or if you feel a threat from them, even if you are not, even if you're just in the beginning where you feel a bit threatened from them, or their behavior seems odd to you, you feel pressure, it's still good to check on with your friends to kind of show if they, for example, are spying on you or lurking around your house, that they see that you have other people around. You're not alone. So back to the topic here. The 5th thing you could do to keep yourself safe is keep evidence if it's possible. This is very useful if you want to file a police report later, or if you want to go to the police. It's always good to have evidence. The more the better. Don't delete messages. Try to record conversations on the phone and film the stalker if they try to approach you. Of course, if you see them with a knife, hopefully not, don't film. But if you just see them regularly walking around the neighborhood, or you see them from a distance and it's clear that they are looking at you, or you just recognize the same person and you want evidence that they are in fact constantly being close to you, go ahead and film, especially if you see other people around, so it's not becoming a threatening situation where you actually need to run and you start to film. Of course not. If you have other people around, if you see maybe a library, a coffee shop or something near, you can film and go into the coffee shop, or depending how you feel from that. But just so you have evidence, you could also, this is very, very good, write down the date, the time, and what happened. Basically write it down on paper, exactly where and what happened. So if you have to file a police report, you have the evidence on paper here. You have some movie clips, maybe some pictures as well. So the 6th thing you could do is find a safe place for emergencies. A little about what we already talked. It could be a police station, a domestic violence center, or a public place where you know it's safe. Go there if the stalker behaves particularly aggressive. Returning home in such cases is a dangerous option because, of course, the stalker probably knows where you live, and they are maybe even aware of the schedule of your other family members or possible roommates. So they could know, for example, that on Tuesdays, if you are heading home, that you will be alone. So the 8th and last tip I will give you regarding what to do if you are being stalked is follow the rules online for safety. Do not post personal information on social networks. Do not write about your movements and plans constantly. If a stalker is terrorizing you online or in real life, consider being a bit more careful online. Even if your page is private, a stalker might befriend one of your friends or take on the identity of a person in your presence that doesn't have a social media account. So depending on the level of how sneaky they are, they could, for example, become Linda Freeman from the same class as you, but she doesn't have an actual social media account, but they could become her, because some people still up until this day don't have social media accounts, not all social media accounts as well, or they could just become someone and try to befriend you or try to get befriend some of your friends. So be careful with that. Of course, you don't want to change your routines or adapt your life. But if this is during a period, if you see an end to this, that you have filed a police report, or you know it's moving forward, something is changing, you can definitely do this. Be a little bit more careful online. And I actually encourage everyone out there to be a bit more careful online, to avoid getting stalkers, or avoid getting strangers basically getting your information. That's unnecessary. So that was it for today, you guys. It was a long video. I am going to be so interested in your stories. Do you have a story of being stalked? Have you ever been stalked? Are you getting stalked right now? Or are you suspecting you might be getting stalked? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, if you find it helpful or interesting, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. I love you and take care. Bye.